Good morning. I wanted to talk a little bit about pronouns because I've had some interesting thoughts and feelings lately regarding them. So I changed my driver's license and my social security card in the last couple of weeks to reflect my new name. And in the state that I live, I could have chosen a non binary gender marker, but I was feeling like I mean, the whole reason that I kind of like took action this quickly with the name change and getting my license and all of that changed is just because of the administration that's coming in on January 20th. And so I feel like putting a non-binary marker on my documents is kind of like a red flag that they might be looking for. So I chose to change everything to male. And it's kind of funny because in the process of doing that, I'm like, well, like it doesn't quite feel right. But neither does female. And so like if I have to pick one or the other, at least male is kind of more in alignment, right? And so there's kind of like that thought process. And then this morning I had my first physical therapy appointment at a new establishment, and so nobody knows me there. I had never been seen before, and I had been registered for the appointment under my birth name. And so when I arrived there, I gave them my new information and everything was fine. Everybody was totally cool. And then at the end of the appointment, they were setting up my follow-ups, and a couple of the people behind the desk were talking back and forth. They were trying to figure something out with the schedule, and they kept referencing, well, she this and she that. And every time that came out of their mouth, I was like, oh, wait, that's not right. Which is interesting because I've kind of been maintaining all pronouns fit for me ever since I understood this about myself. And I've always kind of said that, like I'm very connected to my female energy. So she works. I also have a very masculine energy. So he works, and they, them obviously works. And that's just kind of, I've been putting they, them as my pronouns on forms and things like that. But it was just interesting to feel my response to that in the moment of them saying it. And because it happened like 3 or 4 times where they used the she pronoun in reference to me, and every time it came out of their mouth, I was like, it didn't really, I don't know. I felt that it was just, it's different, right? I'm still getting used to my new name and just not defaulting to she, her. So it's all still a new experience. But I feel like at this point, I'm kind of beginning to kind of lean more towards the like they, them, or they, him, because the she just really threw me off today. So I'm just curious if anybody else has had the same kind of experience. And I know there's been a couple of trans guys that I've messaged back and forth with who have said that they kind of started out the same way with like using all pronouns, and then ended up landing on he, him predominantly or solely. And I don't know if I'll ever get to that point, but I've already felt a shift in my conscious awareness of like how the pronouns are feeling to me when people are using them. And as far as they, them is concerned, that feels fine. I'm just not used to it. It's the same kind of thing as like people calling me Vinny, and I have to, there's like a half a beat that happens before I'm like, oh, they're talking to me, because I lived for 44 years as my birth name, and so yeah, it's an adjustment for sure. Anyway, have a great day, everybody.